ever read Advocate Mshololo. She was like, you know what? I need Jonathan. Give Jonathan to me. I've got few questions. You know what I say that? You know why I say that? It is because when Advocate Mgomezulu was done with look this man, Jonathan, the judge asked Mnisi, do you have any cross-examination for this witness? He said, no. Ngumalo, do you have any cross-examination for this witness? And the man says, no. Then the Everett Mshololo says, bring this guy. Bring him closer. I have questions. And she goes into procedure. She comes from a different angle because even this guy, Mngomezulu was into procedure, but the angle was different than that of Mshololo. If you're looking at Mngomezulu was not interested in, it was a strategic plan, I don't know, but he did not focus on the OB and all the stuff, but he focused on the other angle. Then Mshololo, the ever ready, and then asked questions such as, the suspect was handed over to you on the 9th of June. He says yes. The main duties was to escort. Jonathan says yes. Jonathan, but we are not limited. Mshololo, what other duties do you look? What other duties are you authorized to do to safeguard investigating officers and all the stuff? Remember, according to Jonathan, their duty is to escort. And remember, Jonathan was working for the Swart team, so they look. What can I say? They are more like an equipped individuals to handle firearms or to, you know what I'm saying? They've got skills, But I'm about to take this journey with you, provided that you are interested. If you are, then please stick around. As you stick around, there's just a few things that I'm requesting from you guys, and those things are: number 1, subscribe. 2, like the video. 3, comment in the comment section below. 4, you need to watch this video until the end. 5, you need to watch the ads. 6, you need to share this video with everybody else. Now, so far we have about 20 people who are members of this YouTube channel. Let's increase the number, guys. And also, in terms of subscribers, we are sitting on people who are watching this video and they are not subscribed. We have about 63.7 people who are watching this YouTube channel are not subscribed. Remember, the goal is to decrease the number to at least 50%. You know what I'm saying? So we need to do what we need to do to reduce the number from 63% to at least 50%. It starts with you. You need to do it now. Okay, let's get into Mshololo. Mshololo took over after Mngomezulu had done what he needed to do. I've already told you what some of the questions that he says. The reason you remained there, Morocco police station, was to induce fear to the accused, so that he does what he was instructed to do. Jonathan, after handing over the suspect, I was outside as instructed by Colonel Rapado. So what Advocate Mshololo is basically saying here is that you have electrocuted the guy, you have tortured the guy, you have beaten the guy, you have induced fear to the guy to a point. Now, look, you have forcefully made the guy to fear you. You know why? Because you want him to confess to the crime of your choice. And now what Mshololo is saying, that now that you have thoroughly beat the guy, you want to make sure that he does exactly what you want. And how do you do that? Because we have already beaten the guy, he understands the abuse that he have gone through under your hands. So if you are present, that alone becomes an intimidation strategy. You're not necessarily going to beat him there, but he will be reminded of what is expected if he does not comply with your request. That is the angle Mshololo is saying here. And that is the angle that Mshololo took here. And then I was like, okay. Then I came across some free comment. So somebody says, Advocate Mshololo, one of the best in business. She is good, very good. She will turn Jonathan from a state witness to a prime suspect. Okay. At Kantli _ Matule, I get you. Oh, somebody says, Mshololo, what other duties were you authorized to do other than escort Jonathan to hand over a suspect from one SAPS to another SAPS on request? Mshololo, I put it to you that it was not part of your duties to escort services to receive, to escort services to receive and to hand over suspects, right? Jonathan and my lord, after handing over the suspect, Colonel Rapado requested me to hand over the suspect. After that, I walked outside. We have parked and waited for them to finish the confession. Mshololo then asked a question. How did you know it was a confession? Okay? And then Jonathan, I mentioned a statement or a confession. Do you get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. Right. Mshololo, so how did you know he was going to make a statement? No, he says, no, my lord. It was look, I heard it from Usage and Mohwane, my lord. So then I came across some of the comment. Mshololo, to Jonathan, did you see accused number 2 appearing before the magistrate in Vosloorus? Jonathan, no, my lord. Mshololo, why then did you leave the suspect with the officer in the court and didn't wait like you did before? Jonathan tells Mshololo it was a knock-off time. You see, the problem kamngomezulu was that when your name appears, like it, when it comes to this accused number 1 and 2, your name is constantly there, not other people. Now, I had a problem here when he said that because I was like, wait a minute. So he was escorted to Vosloorus police station, right? I get that. Now, how was he escorted back? Because this time was his knock-off time. How was he escorted back? Who escorted this guy backward? Or suddenly Bongani Ntanzi became, I don't know, I'm still trying to think, guys. Maybe suddenly he was no longer dangerous because it was his knock-off time. I'm still trying to figure out who transported Bongani. Who transported Bongani Ntanzi? Because, let me keep quiet. Because of two Nkuruma cool. Hey, everything tool. Hey, Yazini. Yes, I think tool. It is your evidence that when you received accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, he was not kept at the cell. Jonathan, yes, my lord. Mshololo, let me read this comment there. Mshololo, who were the heavily armed Metro Police officers who were so heavily armed on one day the suspect was taken to Cronje office for confession? Jonathan names other colleagues and him included, right? So the person says, so the other comment says, the defense are sending Mngomezulu and Mshololo to split venom on the state's case, and Mshololo lending her jabs with scaticism. When, look, you know what? I was not happy with Jonathan when he was talking about this. And I was saying to myself, Jonathan, how dare do you say this? There was a Metro Police that you agree They were there, right? But you also agree they are from you. Why are they anonymous? Hey guys, this guys, hey, you know what? Let me ask my questions and leave. Let me continue. That's why other people hate me today, because I've got to ask certain questions, and I'm not gonna stop now. You know what I'm saying? Let me continue. Hey, let me continue. Guys, Mshololo, was the accused handcuffed when you were standing there, Jonathan? Yes, in front. Mshololo, why were you so heavily armed? Jonathan, I wouldn't describe it as heavily armed. Jonathan described what type of weapon they were wearing, and they was like, nah, man, this is how we dress and all the stuff. So it's not that we are heavily armed. And I'm like, John. Then Mshololo says, the manner in which you were armed induced force to the accused, and the reason we're so armed in the magistrate court was to induce force to comply with what police had wanted. No, my lord. No, my lord. That's what he says. And then Mshololo, wait. So I asked you the question about the other police that were heavily armed, and you said whatever you said. But wait a minute, tell me the names of each and every police that then you knew. And you said there were four cars, right? There were 2 cars and being 4 cops. Who are they? And then he says, Constable Listering, Constable Buteles, Constable Mapumulo, and myself. Yes, these are the only people and the only names that I can remember. Okay? So he had denied. So Mshololo asked certain question. How come do you remember the man who was wearing a suit? Jonathan, he was inside as I approached the office. Mshololo, do you remember what magistrate was wearing on that day? Jonathan, no, my lord. And I'm like, I get where you're going, Mshololo. Do you understand what Mshololo is saying? Hey, maybe you don't understand. Mshololo is saying here, she's saying here, you and the guy that was Bongani Ntanzi's lawyer, you knew each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can only remember him, but you can't remember the magistrate. You know what I'm saying? So what she's basically saying is, you are done probably with the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Guy of Bongani Ntanzi, accused number 2. You have probably worked together before. Hence, you can remember him vividly and remember exactly what he was wearing. But you wouldn't remember the magistrate because you probably have not worked with her before. It was your first time meeting her. And to get where Advocate Mshololo she's going. If you don't get it, forget about it. Let me continue. Mshololo, you waited there for a specific purpose to induce fear in the suspect and make sure that he signed the statement. And this man says, no, my lord, Advocate Mshololo, we didn't do that. Mshololo, he has taken the witness on, let's leave this one. Then Mshololo says, she asked this question, man. Let's leave this question. So Mshololo asked this question, who was heavily armed? It's us. Then Mshololo says, please give the names of the heavily armed police. And then I've already given the name to say the heavily armed is what Mr. Listering and blah 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 blah. Okay. And then there was something that came up as Advocate Mshololo was busy. I would say she was doing the Lord's work. So as she was busy doing the Lord's work, there was something that came up. And you know what came up? was Advocate Mshololo wanted to collaborate the entries on the notebook versus what is she's being told. So the state was very clever in that they did not want to hand over the documents as early as possible. So they only handed the documents during lunch, which is not something new. We know they are very good at doing that. They've been doing it. They will continue to do it. Nothing is gonna stop them because they don't care about how you feel about it anyway. You and I. Because you and I actually feels that the defense should have been granted or given or furnished with documents as early as yesterday, as early as last year, in fact. You know what I'm saying? But it's not happening in this case. So they are trying to dictate what type of questions they should ask because they don't have enough information. What they are not aware of is that for the fact that information is coming in drips and drops, it's actually putting their clients in in a very, very dangerous position because the judge tomorrow will also grant Mngomezulu a chance to ask question on the basis of the statement that was given today. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And therefore, it necessitates that their clients needs to go through the trauma of standing before these people and having to defend himself. You know what I'm saying? Ganti, had they given the information earlier, at least the witness gets to stand on that witness box once, and once it's done, and then it's done. But now, no matter how much you coach him, he's going to crack because he's in the same position now. The other Mngomezulu will think of other questions today. You know what I'm saying? You are just giving Mngomezulu the privilege of thinking of questions that he did not ask. You know, so I don't think it is intelligence. I don't know. Why do I use the word intelligence? Let me borrow the word smart. Because intelligence is just a heavy word that shouldn't be just used anyhow. But yeah, nevertheless, before we continue with this one, I need to conclude something about Mshololo, right? Okay, yeah, just before we continue with the issue of what Mngomezulu has Mngomezulu having a second chance and advocate Mshololo, I thought it would be wise of me to say this. I am going to add certain stories in this YouTube channel. There are people that have written to me. One of the lady was sexually harassed at work by her boss, who is currently detained for that same reason, right? And then the other story is there's this big media company, big in South Africa, big in South Africa. They are busy chasing people. If you are not vaccinated, they are chasing such people. Or look, even as of now, 2023. Now, as we are going towards November 2023, they are busy chasing people. If you are not vaccinated, they are it's painful. There are people that haven't gotten paid after being fired from that company. There's a story that I know as well where this two young couple from Cape Town, they had a baby. The baby was taken away either by the hospital, and the social workers were involved in taking that baby. After taking that baby, I think there was some challenges with that baby. So they took that baby, and after 2 months, the baby was brought back as a dead baby. When the baby was brought, they were told that this is just a natural death. But upon observing the body of this baby, they realized the baby had bruises, right? Those are some of the stories that I'm going to cover, and more of stories. But should you wish that I cover your story, please don't send a voice note. I prefer you guys to look, please write the story, because I tried the other method, and it's gonna take time. So I am going to do such stories, and I promise the people that have written to me. I think I'm forgetting one story. There's a story that I'm forgetting because I know that there are 4 stories. Those are some of the stories that are coming up in this YouTube channel, right? So yes, and more and more and more. Should you wish that I cover your story, please tell me. Just write the story as it is. Please don't say, look, you can send the proof like others. The one, look, from this media company, I've received the documents. Look at the story from this lady. I've received the proof. He was working for this company. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the stories. I'm just saying, please, when you write, give me the proof. Now let's go back and close this video by saying I understand where look this thing of look of Baloyi giving information in drips and drops. It's at the end of the day, it's affecting their clients. You know what I'm saying? One way or the other. Because when they're look today, they should have done, or they should have completed the cross examination, but tomorrow they are coming back. You know what I'm saying? Now, jumping back to Advocate Mshololo, I see where Advocate Mshololo she's going, and now I understand. Remember, this is the same lady that, upon observing the procedure, also SAPS, insisted that we needed to get the records and the pocketbook from Mutabo Mosea, right? When the pocketbook and the and everything was given, comparing it with the statement, the evidence he gave in chief, the OP and the pocketbook. Remember that it was then that we were made aware that the man has lied. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that? Number two, do you remember that when Advocate Mshololo had insisted that I need the OP in entrance, you understand? That's when we realized that when Bongani Tanzo was booked, I think it was from Alberton Police Station, when he was booked there, he was booked out for the Ndongoma case, but when he gets to Fosloras, it was for Senzo Meiwa case. Do you see the problem? So we then had to ask the question, what has changed? Because you can't be leaving this destination or this point of departure for this reason, but when you arrive on the other side, it's now for a different reason. So it shows the inconsistency and the dishonesty within the South African Police Service, the ones that are handling this case. That's two. Three, today she wants to compare again. She says, no, can this witness stand down? And we say, why, advocate? Others again, when she said that, they just wrote, she's incompetent, she does not know what she's doing, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at them, I'm like, hey, man, if you look, I could have been in a position where I understand why Advocate Mshololo should be blamed, but you can't blame Advocate Mshololo if the information is coming in drips and drops. Said Advocate Mnisi, and Advocate Mnisi had said that if the information continue to come in drips and drops, what is going to happen? He said, we are in a train that is moving from Gauteng to Durban. If the information is given once, then this train is going to start, or the moment the ignition is on and it start moving, it will move from Joburg and it will not stop anywhere except in Durban at the destination. But should the information continue to come in drips and drops, then Advocate Mnisi said, we're going to have unpleasant moment where this train will have to stop. And that's the case today. And it has happened in the past. It will continue. As long as the information comes in drips and drops, this is going to happen. And guarantee you, this is going to happen. The train is going to start and stop. Start and stop. Who is the cause? It's the state themselves. They are not giving information. So to add something on top of that, we have seen that when the defense have enough time to go through whatever is in front of them, they look like I said, I've already named the issue of Umsia, I've already named the issue of OP. Those were instances where Advocate Mshololo requested time to go through and look and compare things. And she came back with substantial evidence. Today we distrust what is happening because of Advocate Mshololo. To get a point. So you can't call her incompetent. In fact, it is intelligence, it is wisdom not to proceed when facts are not gathered together. So what I see from this woman, I just see a person who understands that in court, we need facts. In order for me to satisfy myself that I've presented all the facts at my disposal, I need to make sure that I check everything. Even the judge at some point joked about it. But I even noted this, and I said to you, the judge understands how Advocate Mshololo reasons. Advocate Mshololo, she's like this. Advocate Mshololo says, this is a mouse. Don't tell me that in my laptop I was using a mouse unless you prove to me that I was using a mouse. You know what I'm saying? If you are telling me it's a hearsay, and it won't work in court, but if you prove to me that Bongane had a mouse in his hand, then it's an evidence in court. That's what Advocate Mshololo is just doing. And which is a good thing for the clients, you know what I'm saying? She is saying, I need to have a tangible evidence, you know what I'm saying, that I can stand on. The judge, again, at some point, the judge had joked around this and say, the judge said this thing, the interpreter, Jonas, was sick. So then they were asking the court to adjourn. All the other lawyers had agreed, and then the judge asked Mshololo, what are you saying? She says, no, I have no objection. And then the judge says, so when he comes back, do you want an evidence that he was sick? Did you understand what the judge was saying? The judge was simply saying he understands that Advocate Mshololo works with evidence. You know what I'm saying? If you are saying we moved from here in Vosloorus, we went to drop Bongane Ntanzi to Albertine, then Advocate Mshololo says, I need you to prove to me that you did that. It must be recorded somewhere because you are a member of the South African Police Service, and the organization has got order, has got structure. Things, if you are a police, you are given there's an OP book that police they use. There's also a pocket book beside the statement that they write when they are going to court. So your pocket book, the OP book that you sign either at the police station when you are taking this person, your pocket book, those are the things that what can I say? It gathers information. For the same reason that the day you want to go to court, if you are saying we took Bongane from Vosloorus to Albertine at about 3 o'clock, we should be able to find that in your OP book and your pocket book. If we can't find that, because you are working for a well-organized organization, well-structured organization, if you can't find that, we're not going to trust you. That is where Advocate Mshololo is heading towards, to say we need to find 1, 2, and 3. And I don't blame her. The police are organized. Like I always say to you guys, police, by definition, when they are doing their work, you love them. I'm telling you, you love them. You love police when they are doing policing. Because if you are not a criminal, why will you hate police to begin with? If you are not committing crime, why will you hate police? You know what I'm saying? So as much as we criticize police here, we are not criticizing them from the angle of we just don't like them because we are criticizing from the fact that we want them to be competent. We want them to be efficient. You know what I'm saying? We want them to give the best service. We are coming from that angle. But police themselves, no, we don't hate police. Remember here, we are not condoning these criminal activities that we are seeing. You know what I'm saying? We're not out there saying to people, you must go do these shenanigans of getting tender in others. You know what I'm saying? They have to sleep with others to get tenders. We don't condone those things, you know what I'm saying? We don't condone this thing of men killing women. We don't condone those things. Others walking naked on the street. No. Others taking bribes. No. You know what I'm saying? We don't condone all of those things, you know what I'm saying? We don't condone people who are busy forcefully taking, bayithatha ngendlakaza yabona. Umuntu osifazana babona umeme kahle laphana then manje sebafuna ukumamba ngenkani. We don't condone such a thing. How to, can I deviate? Just give me time. How, guys, I ask myself this question. You see this woman, then you're like, hey, I want to sleep with her. Then you're like, hey, she doesn't want. And then I've got a gun. Then you go like, hey, wena, what's that? Come on. And then you move the underwear by force. And then she's busy crying. And then you put the gun and say, hey, if you shout, I'm going to kill you. And then you put your thing there. And then, where's the pleasure there? I always ask myself, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we don't condone that, because people must understand this thing is supposed to be nice, or it's supposed to play hide and seek. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get it, forget about it. Tata me, it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? It's cold. It's cold. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you don't get it for so those are the things that we condone, you know what I'm saying? We condone, I mean, those are the things that we agree with. We agree with the game. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can't sleep today. I was thinking about you the entire night. Hey. You know what I'm saying? You know, we want people who are taking things when they are given. Taking things by force. No, we don't condone that. You know what I'm saying? So in this channel, we don't condone police that goes there, intimidate people and say, yeah, I'm a police, do this. We say police must respect citizens and citizens must respect police, vice versa. That's what we stand for. You know, like I always tell you guys, I got a ticket from police for jumping a stop sign. And I say to you, the way he approached me, I can't falter that police. He gave me the ticket. It was painful, but that was policing at its best. You know what I'm saying? Police guys, you love them when police are doing their work. You even when it is against you, but you're like, that's police. This is policing. So we stand for such things here. We stand for the order that police are keeping in society. You know, there was a rugby game. People were having fun. We saw people running into a police vehicle. Look, you know what I'm saying? We didn't see, not unless otherwise, but we didn't see it as a crime, as a criminal offense. We just saw people happy. Those are the things we saw police, you know, being calm. We like such things, man, where there's somehow friendship between police and the civilians when it is necessary. Those are the things that we condone. Those are the things that we stand for here. To get a point, we don't stand for this nakedness that we are seeing on the street. People don't want to wear. We don't stand for such things here. We don't stand for these things of false rape just because you sleep with her. Tomorrow she doesn't give you, because she didn't get the money, then you have raped her. No. We stand for that real rape. That one we don't take by force. You ask, then you get given, then you take. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, come on, be gentle. You take. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, in as much as you will hear us criticizing, we criticize not from the perspective of we hate police. We are coming from the perspective that we want this organization to go back to its original principle. You know what I'm saying? Guys, when police are at work, when the police are doing their work, you will love them. I'm telling you. Like, don't you want to walk? Don't you want to drive your car and feel like they can never hijack me because I see police around? You get what I'm saying? Don't you want to walk in such society? You want to, right? So us criticizing what we are seeing in the Meiwa case doesn't come from the angle that from this side of bitterness that we hate the fact that they're going to arrest us. No, because we are committing offense. No, we want competent police that we can trust. We want competent police that we can rely on. That's just basic. You know what I'm saying? So, in the Meiwa case, we have seen things that Advocate Mshololo has been able to expose within the South African Police Service. She has been able to expose the incompetent thereon, the breach of contract, itself. Because when you join the South African Police Service, you sign a contract. You're going to behave this way. You're going to do this. So what happened to the pocketbook? Okay, let's say, for instance, there's no pocketbook. That needs to be collaborated. Advocate Mshololo, she's saying, no, we want it's a logbook. We want to trace the car. We want to show us. When the car moved from Vosloorus, it had about it was on 30,000 kilometers. It gets to Albertine, probably it was on 30,200 kilometers. That's far. That is exaggerating. 30,000 and 45 kilometers. You know what I'm saying? It's even much higher, but you know what I'm saying? That's what we were able to see. You know what I'm saying? That, and if Advocate Mshololo was to get that information, it's also going to expose that the kilometers from here to here were supposed to be this much. Why do we have more? If we have more, we have a reason to suspect that, you know what I'm saying? You didn't do what you said you did. You get what I'm saying? So let's wait for the OB book tomorrow. Until then, good people, please take care.